Well, we got a lot of stuff going on, and welcome everyone to the Become an Author broadcast today. We got some exciting things going on, and I have three great people here with me today, and they are doing amazing things. I wanted to share with you what we're doing at Elite Publications. This program is sponsored by Elite Publications and also the Global Chamber of Cooperatives. And also to Be Connected. We want to also give a shout out to Be Connected. It is really awesome to be here today. And we're not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get into it. You can tell you got the backgrounds of the magazines. Elite Publication is actually publishing the magazines for the Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine. This month's issue was featuring Grandmaster Linda Denley. Next month, we're going to be featuring Grandmaster Bill Superfoot Wallace. It's going to be packed. Some really exciting things to do. Don't forget, if you want to go check out our book, have to be careful with my background, it'll disappear on me. But you can go on to Amazon and you can Google my name, Jessie Bowen, and you can pull up all the books that we have to offer there. But what I want to do tonight is to be able to share with you the power of becoming an author and how many doors that it opens. We were joking today, we can't keep it to ourselves, just because, this is really exciting. And, the guys I have with me tonight, we're really about making a difference in the world and everything that we're doing. So I'm going to start off introducing my co-partner. Karen is going to be on shortly. We have Jim T. Chong, the rock star. He is a publicist for Elite Publications, and he's all over the place, the people that he's actually helping and the things that he's actually doing. So, Jim is the man. He's going to be talking about, if you have a book out and that book is not selling, or if you're thinking about having a book out, what do you really need to do? And we're going to be covering that tonight on what you need to do. And then I've got Scott Schilling, and Scott is a coach, mentor, speaker, world-renowned speaker. This guy's been on stage with everyone. And so he's going to be talking about how do you get to be a public speaker. We're all public speakers. We just have to understand the value that we have and then how to put it together. Now, this program is not for just martial artists. Just so happens that we are promoting within the martial arts community. But if you're a Christian author, motivational author, coach, then Elite Publications, you can go to our website, elitepublications.org, and learn more. And we have Scott, and we also have Randy Blake, the 5-time ISKA world champion here. He is a brand new author. We are coaching him and making his world, go boom, boom. And so we're going to be, asking Randy, how's it been going since he's been hanging out with us with his book project. So I'm going to go ahead and crack it up. And hey, Jim, I want to start with you. And we're going to talk about, becoming an author. What does it take? I've got my book together. Okay, I need somebody to publish my book, and then I'm going to be rich and famous. But we know that's not really true. So, Jim, I'm going to let you have it just for a moment. Then I'm going to go to Scott, because I really want to have a big part to talk about becoming a speaker and how you apply all this to becoming a speaker. So, Jim, let's talk about the publicist. We discovered each other, 3 years ago, and you became the publicist for our company, our books. And I really didn't know everything I needed to know. You jumped in there and you made my world go boom, boom.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Kirby Delani, a world record brick breaker, also a member of the American Martial Arts Alliance. She's why, we got connected here. So a great shout out to her. But in terms of your books and stuff, I love, first off, Jesse, the professionalism you've been bringing to the martial arts world. Really getting like several hundred martial artists getting their biographies written with what you've done. Featuring people like Chuck Norris and many of the people that you brought in, Ernie Reyes, Senior. But the books that you've published have been very inspiring, in the martial arts community, but also in just a business community as well. Matter of fact, our entrepreneur mastery has been phenomenal. So I can speak from experience in terms of setting things in motion because of some things I do, but also what you've done to really lay a great platform. So I just want to first off acknowledge all the martial artists. We have Boom Boom here there as well. And, just all of you out there, part of the American Martial Arts Alliance, or just in the martial arts arena, a big applause for you, because really you signify and exemplify the character, the integrity, the hard work, and just all the things that I believe are really important just to be successful in life because of just what you bring. So I just had to mention that, Jesse, for the martial arts community. But, in terms of getting everything in play, you just want to make sure, number one, Jesse's very good at this, have a plan. A lot of people don't have any plan. They want to write a book. Scott's acknowledging this really a lot, right? But they just think it's going to happen. Now, I can tell you, there are a lot of things today that we can do, thank you to internet, a lot of social media, that you can go ahead and do bestsellers in specific categories and become a #1 bestseller. We can do that for you. But one thing to keep in mind, though, is that doesn't necessarily equate to direct money in your pocket. Okay. We really want to focus in on getting things pre-sold and really have a plan before the book actually gets released. So number one, you do want to have a plan. And what the plan conveys, just very briefly, is making sure you have a plan to pre-sell, pre-sell your books. You can sell them online before it actually comes out. Usually, if you put out a e-version, just a digital version of that, people can buy that. There are certain things that you can do to get out a lot of your story and stuff to get it out. But just have that strategy. Do a real pre-sale campaign, which I know Elite Publications, we have a phenomenal way to help you pre-sell your books. Our up and coming authors are really enjoying that as they put out their first ebooks as well. But the other thing is you want to make sure that you understand this. The books will not sell themselves unless you're somebody that is already really world renowned. You do have to have a strategy. And one of the strategies, in addition to the pre-sale, is making sure you conceptualize what you want that book to be. Is it going to be like your business card to give a message to help change someone's life? Is it your business card? Maybe it's a how-to book. When you go ahead and speak, Scott's going to be talking about that. Have these available. Have your links available for people to buy it, to sell your book as well. Very important to be ready. Jesse, I like what you say. There's that old wine commercial, we will sell no wine before it's time. Really make sure you have a lot of your things together. The media components, the graphics, kind of what you want the imagery for your specific publication to be, but have it available. Definitely you can start to announce it a little bit, but when you're ready to go, I will tell you through personal experience, people are ready to buy, ready to order when you get them excited. It's a lot harder, I should say a little harder, not impossible for sure. If you don't have that link ready, it is a little more difficult to get people to take action if they've already heard about it already. So when you're ready to punch it, make sure you have your link available and prepared. And finally, just there's a lot of things we could say, but I'll end out with this. Have a great social media strategy. I'm implementing some for a couple companies right now in terms of just social media, the presence. There's a lot of things on social media. You have Facebook, Instagram, of course, your website. There's a lot of things that you can talk about, creating the right landing page. And I don't want to overwhelm you with all the details, but basically be prepared, be ready to sell the links. And I will tell you the best way you can sell books is definitely online in terms of reaching the masses, but also take advantage of opportunities to be able to speak at different events, which is again what Scott's gonna be talking about. But I have to mention this. We have our event coming out in Vegas. You definitely want to take opportunities like this in different events, especially if they're here to highlight your book. A great opportunity to launch your book with us in Vegas in mid-July, because again, that positions you to be able to market around it. A lot more credibility when you say, hey, we're launching our books here in Las Vegas. Jesse, that just sounds good. We're launching our book in Las Vegas, right? And and have a place to direct people. It really makes you bigger than life when you have a specific strategy, you are pre-selling, and you actually have a physical event that you can tie your book to. Now, even if you're not launching it there, just the fact that you are present does make a big difference. And so, with that, I will say, here's to you, to your story, and understand how important your story is if it is to change a life, how important that instruction is if it is a how-to book, or maybe you're just trying to edify somebody else or some other people. Make sure that you're prepared, you're confident, and just have a solid messaging of and branding of your book. So that's what I have in a nutshell, in a box here, literally in my little box here, right? Rectangular box. But, I am so inspired. I just have to kick this out here as well by what Elite Publications, Jesse, I've seen you when you were just starting, in the beginning part of it, but you've just done such a phenomenal job. People that know you just make things happen. You also want to be involved with people that make things happen. I can tell you, Jesse, myself, Scott, I know getting to know Boom Boom a little bit, we are movers and shakers, but from point of view of publishing, I will tell you, you want somebody on you to start doing the right things, not something casual. So with that, here's to your success. Contact me if you need to. I'm here over with Elite Publications, but back to you, Jesse.
And how do we get, and Jim, hey, we got to promote your book. You got the Breaking Through Barrier book on Amazon.
Yes, we actually have Breaking Barriers, Decisions that Elevate People from Ordinary to Extraordinary. You can look at that on Amazon. And, really, as Jesse mentioned, it's sponsored in part by the Global Chamber Cooperative. And, you want to be able to join us. Just look up Global Chamber Cooperative online in Facebook. Join us there. But, my book, you can catch it on Amazon. But there's several other books that I'm in as well. But I'm just so excited about what we're going to be doing with Take Center Stage this year, Jesse, and everything about this. And it's phenomenal. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at 916-747-9366. That's 916-747-9366. Or just go to zoomturtle.com. That's zoomturtle, just like how it sounds, .com. You can scroll down, my name and number will be in there. You'll find out a lot of things that are happening. And, Jesse, hats off to you for giving so much value to the business community as well during our Global Chamber Cooperative meetings with just all the skills you bring, because you don't just come from just a business perspective, but all the discipline that comes from being a 10th degree black belt and martial artist, just like your whole audience here. Definitely much love for you, Jesse. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. This is what we're really talking about, is really not just doing something. I turned down a client this week because I couldn't publish what was actually written. And I won't do that. I mean, my brand, my name, the company's name, when something comes out, we want everyone to be able to identify our product. When our book's released, we want people to say, I know that book was published by Elite. We want to have that when they open up the book, you don't have misspelled words, you don't have crazy stories. Where is this going? Because, and I refuse downright refuse to do that because every client is important to me. I want you to, have the success that Jim is getting, I'm getting, Scott's getting, Randy. I want you to have that level of success in your book. I want your book to be a positive experience. We want your book to be able to open the doors. And we're not just a publishing company, we are a marketing branding company. And, I'm a corporate educator, corporate speaker for Duke Corporate Education. In a few weeks, I'll be speaking at American Express. And I've got the man here that, I wish I'd known him, 15, 20 years ago. I learned a lot of things the hard way until one day a door opened, I walked through it, my life changed. But I have the person here today that can change your life about speaking. And I would say if you are, no matter whomever you are, especially though we're talking a lot to the martial arts community, why not have bigger doors in your school? Why not have a door that puts you as a public paid speaker? You're already a public speaker. When you stand in front of your class and speak, they're listening to every word you say. When you answer the telephone, that's making a decision whether they're going to come to your school, they like you, they're going to buy from you just by what you say. Hey, Scott, we got Scott Schilling here, and Scott is the man. Scott, why don't you just share a little bit, about your background? And everyone, I want you to, it's an experience that matters. You can get to someone to put your stuff up, and you can have that big ego about it's done, but it never takes you to the next level. And, in public speaking, now you can be paid from $500 up to $15,000, $20,000 to show up for a real coaching and speaking opportunity. Hey, Scott, I'm kicking it over to you.
Well, thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it. I've been very fortunate in my career, done well over 3,000 live events in anywhere from 2 people to 27,000 in a room, and then as well as TV and infomercials and a variety of things like that. What you said is exactly true. Everybody is naturally a public speaker. The minute you open up your mouth, you just said something in public. So public speaking is okay. You're accustomed to it. You've been doing it. You've been training the people in your facilities and working and sharing messages. But this is time to consider becoming a professional speaker. And professional says something different. It means you got a paycheck, and a paycheck for sharing your expertise. Joe Lunchbucket out there is a public speaker and can probably get somebody to give him maybe a couple $100 to share a thought or a concept. But you're a martial artist. The expertise and the discipline and the dedication it takes just to accomplish that alone puts you experientially so far ahead of so many people in this day and age. And so the reality is, first of all, you're a public speaker to begin with. Well, let's make you a professional speaker to go along with that. Well, how do you accomplish that? Again, you've been sharing those stories. You can maybe make $250 or $500 a talk. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. At the same time, you start to add some expertise. It's one of the things that one of the reasons that I'm here with Jesse and Jim is because we now understand that you can take the expertise you've gained doing what you do and step it up a notch. How do you do that? You now have a book. Why do you have a book? Well, number one, because you got experiences. You've got stories to tell. And whether that be the how-to or the why-to or as Jim said, edifying somebody else, whatever the reason for having that, you now have a different level of expertise, and you move from where you are to being the authority. And the reality is you've got an amazing publishing opportunity through Elite Publications to have that book. Well, what does that do? When you start to become a professional speaker, now with a book, just to give you, instead of $250 to $500 for that piece of information that you're sharing, now it jumps to, maybe $1,000 to $2,500. Basically for the same piece of information, now delivered with a little more quality, a little more style behind it, and the credibility that you have from the elite publication of your book. Well, the reality is, as you continue to master that or do the same things you did in martial arts, you didn't stick at your first belt or your second belt. Or Jesse, my goodness, I mean, he wouldn't even be a single black belt. Heck no, I'm a 10th degree black belt, right? I mean, he wasn't even happy with black belt. Come on, man, right? And so he took it to the next level. Well, what's that next level? Now it's that expert level. Well, how do you get there? Well, now you incorporate your book with all your experiences and your stories and where you're going and the directions you want to share messages with people to encourage them and inspire them to live their greatest potentials. And then you get a publicist and a digital marketing expert like our walk star right there, right? So now you move in, and then you get more of the speaking process and really getting up into the upper echelon of speaking and things like that. Well, that you now go from the authority level to the expert level. Well, the expert level now commands 5,000, 10,000, who knows, 25,000, even more. I mean, I'm blessed to say I've made more than that in an hour. And so it's a pretty good hour when you do that, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's not a bad hour. The point is, when you take what you do naturally, which is obviously dedication, determination, discipline, and put that into this path, you can now be like Boom Boom and say, you know what? I've still got lots of people that I can share with, lots of people that I can encourage, lots of people that I can inspire. Maybe I don't have to do some of the things I used to do, but now I do things differently for a different reason, but I can still encourage, empower, and inspire people. So the reality is, when you team it together, wherever you want to go, this is about you and your destination. But when you team things together, the expertise of putting together an absolutely amazing book, having it publicized and put out into the marketplace well, and then be able to communicate the messages from it and what you've learned through all this and truly be that expert, the sky's really the limit. And so your opportunities are whatever you choose to make them. You've been there before, because you wouldn't be as dedicated in the martial artist you are if you didn't have that before. Now just apply that same discipline, dedication, and determination in one more way. You put this together, be that expert, and live the dream that you really want to live. I'll throw it back to you, Jesse.
Well, I loved live the dream you want to live. You know, you do not want to become 65, 70 years old and you have not lived your dream. And you want to be looking around and say, what is it I have of value? Now, if you're like Colonel Sanders, you might be lucky and you got this chicken recipe and you just want people to pay you a percentage of every piece of chicken sold, then that's good. But you do have something you carried around all your life, and those things are your life experiences. I'm not talking about, in the martial arts community, I'm not talking about writing a book on how to throw a front snap kick or how to throw a reverse punch or how to do a ridge hand. If that's all you have at the end of your tenure, then you didn't gain a lot. And I'm talking about all the life experience of how can I shortcut? We did our millionaire mindset class today, and that's what we talked about. We talked about the value and the volume of people that want to know what it is that you know and how can it make their lives better. The Karate Kid movie, will karate stop the bully from picking on my kid? Now look at that movie is still very powerful even today. Now I have my co-host on, and she's all over the place of writing and doing things. She's so successful, and she just moved closer to me. She's in South Carolina. I don't know if I should have told that, I'm in North Carolina, but Karen is a writer. for numerous magazines, Elite, for, with us and one of our partners. And we have actually partnered because what Karen has to bring, she can offer it in a different manner than I can. I love what Jim says sometimes to me, you're really direct, so I haven't figured out what he means by that yet. Probably I do, but, and Karen is yin and yang. She's that soft side that puts it together, but she's also a grandmaster in the martial arts. And so she brings that together too. So Karen, hey, listen, I'm glad to see you. Glad you made it today with us. So I'm gonna kick it to you because, a lot of folks already know what you do. And today, we're talking about bringing it together. And I know one of the places that you're working on, that I'm working on with our folks, is how to gain publicity in what you're doing and how to be able to build yourself as a brand.
Right.
Now, I think that's really important that we have to realize that when you actually start writing a book, for my team, we sit down and Randy can, with Randy, he knows that everything is about his colors. What's the colors that goes with your book? What's the colors of your website? These things are branding. These things will be identifiable in everything that you actually do. So I'm going to kick it over to Karen and everybody. A lot of you guys and ladies already know her. You read her work. She's got books out there. But Scott, one thing before I get away, I know you've got a book and I went on Amazon. I know we can get it there. Is there any place that you want to tell folks that while they're on our program, they can be checking out our books and stuff?
What, this one right here? That sucks. What now? Real world solutions for getting through what you're going through.
Oh, wow.
Available at scottschillingspeaks.com.
I
Yeah,
love it.
And then
absolutely.
also,
I really
guys, remember,
appreciate it.
yeah, so make sure you go to his website. Go to his website and check him out. Also, you can on Amazon. You can find all of our stuff on Amazon also. So Karen, I'm kicking it over to you. Hey, it's all yours.
Thank you, Hanchi. And for those of you who aren't martial arts, Hanchi is just a term of endearment meaning someone that's very high ranked. And we do a lot of the respect thing, but I am very sensitive to the fact that a lot of people watching aren't in martial arts, and keeping that in mind. And the understanding of how publicity and writing a book go together is a very important element. And we'll be going over that in detail in our writer seminar that's going to be coming up here next month. And I know Jesse will be talking about that if he hasn't already. But one thing I do want to talk about quickly today, as far as writing and publicity, is what I call hooks. And whenever you're looking to hook in publicity, one of the most important things you can look at is how you're different from everybody else. I'm just making it just flat out simple. So when you have a book and you're in the zone of what your hook is, it's really easy to gain the publicity like that. I'm what you would call an AAE speaker. If you Google it online, you can see my info, where a lot of people will come to me for a certain fee and ask me to speak. But I have that hook out even there where I talk about I'm female. I mean, one thing that separates me from you guys who practice martial arts, obviously, is I'm a chick, right? And I'm a very high ranked one, over 30 years. And so a lot of businesses, especially women's businesses, will look to someone like me to be a guest speaker. So there's one of my hooks. I have other hooks, being an ethnic woman. I can get in and do a lot of Native American education. I'm actually an ordained chaplain. I do a lot of religious type ceremonies as well. So there's a lot of hooks that I have. I've narrowed it down and I've honed them very well to 3 different hooks. And I use those out there and it really does work. So just a thought starting process as someone who's looking to get a publicist or publicity is you've got to really know yourself really well. And you got to find those hooks, Hanchi. That's the most important thing.
Well, she's speaking about hooks, everyone. It's this thing about you that makes you unique. What is it about making you unique? Well, we start with our company. It's called what? Elite Publication. Right there, that's the brand. That's, we want to say that we are elite. We are not just a publishing company, nor are we just average people. We're not average. I know with Jim's here, he's not an average guy. He's doing so many amazing things. We got Scott, he's not an average guy. You know, we've got Bam, 5-time world champion. He's not an average guy. And Master Karen, we have you. You're definitely you're not an average chick. You know, I since you said it like that, I won't use that again. But but that's what we're talking about. And we want to help people to learn that they're not average with that. So, but that's what you teach really well, because you're a former, give us a little bit of Master Herdman, give us a little bit about your background. I know you were with Fox News and several other things. Let's give us, so if you're catching us for the very first time, you sort of get a glimpse of the people that we have on today. That's what I want you to notice. The people that we have on, that's value. Is value cheap? No, value is never cheap. If it's cheap, you need to put it back on the shelf. Go to the other aisle, pick up a brand name you can count on, and don't, and just stay with a brand. Okay, tell us a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. I call them my hooks, and I have 3 hooks. I've got them down to a science, and one of them is martial arts. I'm a very high-ranked female, actually grandmaster after 30 years. There are women as high-ranked as myself in my art form, but if there aren't many. I am in the media industry. I have 4 books out. I've written for every major martial arts magazine in the world. And I have an extensive background in broadcast news. I worked for Fox. I've had contracts with NBC, Animal Planet, CNN over the course of my 25 career in broadcast news. And the other one is ministry as an ordained minister, and something near and dear to my heart, where I really do take that part of me, that third part of me, and try to go and make a difference in the world, especially in Native American areas where I work with tribal people who are going through so much of their own suffering that the world doesn't even know about. So those are the 3 things that I do really well. And those are the 3 things that I speak on a lot. So again, I can't emphasize enough of how important it is for you to sit down, understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and everybody has them, and then move in the area of publicity and what that's going to make you stand out and different from everybody else out there. But thank you for the time. I'm truly honored, and God has really blessed me in those 3 areas.
Well, and she said something very important. That's why you need to have someone with experience to help you to be able to do that, because you may not know what your strong suits are, and you may have all this value and you haven't even recognized that. And so I want to bring on Randy. We got Randy Blake, and again, guys, I know we all like Randy. We for you guys met him a couple of weeks ago. He's that all-American kid. He's that, and I'm gonna call him a kid, but he's that good guy. He's a good guy. So I like Randy. I like good guys. But, Randy, we were talking about the discipline, success. You've been on major platforms as a fighter. You're at the sort of in that peak of your career, and you looked out there and you said, okay, my daughter, I didn't understand your story until about a week ago. And you were saying that there's so much misinformation about you online that you wrote your book, Boom Boom, to be able to share the truth about you, so your daughter would know that. And guys, you can go check out Randy's book. It's on randyblakeJr.com, and he's going to be doing some kickboxing things. But Randy, let's talk about your decision as a new author, your decision to actually publish your book.
Oh, well, first of all, man, you know a great way to make me blush. I'm really blushing right now because you call me such a young guy. Like you can't really tell because I'm all full 100% chocolate, but I'm blushing, man. I'm telling you, I am blushing. No, but I kind of came up with the idea, I would say about 3 years ago. I really wanted to write a book, and I would go to certain people and they would kind of just write it off. That's stupid. That's stupid. Well, make a long story short, it kind of led me to you. You look me up on Google. I've got major accomplishments. I've traveled the world, thanks be to God for that. I fought on every major organization from the Chuck Norris World Combat League to K1 to Gloria, did all those things. But when you Google me, there's just a lot of misinformation out there. And so me being a recent father of a year, you know, my daughter's 13 months old. So she's just learning how to climb stuff, and she's learning how to finally sleep. So I'm getting sleep now. So yes. But sooner or later, she's going to reach an iPad. She's going to reach the internet. And that was really my goal, was to get this information to where when she reads it, it all makes sense. I mean, I want to be here forever, but you know, God forbid, if I leave tomorrow and she picks up an iPad and Googles me, okay, I'm not a 5-time world champion. You know, I'm 5'11" and I'm 135 pounds, and my record's not 52 wins. I've got like 12 wins. So I really don't exist. I haven't fought outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. None of those things actually exist. So that was really my idea, was to get this published so she can have it, and also to inspire the youth. That's kind of my way of wanting to give back as well, is to be kind of that role model to these kids. And I think that's one thing that we are missing. Everyone's in the iPad, they're not doing much, but if I can give back somehow, I will love that. And I think having this book will open up those doors so I can do that.
Well, okay, as you one of our new guys, you've been with us almost 30 days now.
Yeah.
But what have you gained? Have you gained a lot from that? Tell us about some of the things that you've learned or gained.
Well, just the fact that when you become an author, it kind of changes, you know, who you are. Everyone knows me as a fighter, and I think sometimes being a fighter, you just get kind of looked at as a fighter. That's all you're good at. That's all you can do. Being an author now, it's opened up quite a bit of doors. You know, I'm starting to get those speaking up opportunities. Working with you, you're a big. I want to say like you're a big brother, but it might be kind of downplaying you a little bit.
Cousin.
Okay, we'll take cousins. You know,
I'm going to adopt you.
Well, just, you know, I'm a martial artist too, and I think that's one of the things I've learned being in martial arts for 29 years is always being a sponge. And so that's kind of what I am to you. You say do something, I'm gonna give it all I've got. And I think that was probably one of the things I've always missed in my life. I was never surrounded by the best of people. And that was one of our very first conversations was, you know, you need to check your 5 closest friends, because that actually determines who you are and actually where you're going. And when you told me that, I said, I don't really have anybody that's on that level. So I've kind of clinged to you, and I'm soaking up all this knowledge, and I'm learning. It's been a roller coaster. It's been amazing. And like I said, just being an author or soon to be author, it's opening up so many doors, and people see me differently. Like I'm more than just a fighter. I can just get in there and just kick people and hit people and get hit. Like I know how to speak. I know how to shake hands. I'm a human like you guys are. I eat, sleep, do all the things that everyone else does. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, you know, this is the things that we're talking about. So Randy, I know that, you know, we've got you connected with a connection in Brazil. Hopefully we'll have you traveling and touring in Brazil. You know, we've got you, you've already done one speaking opportunity. You're launching this Saturday, you're launching your online kickboxing program. You are the new director for the American Martial Arts Alliance, our kickboxing certification program. But if it had not been for your book, we wouldn't have never met, you know, so we would be having something totally different and going on. So everyone, the short of our program today is that, you know, you need a publicist, you know, you need a person that can help you build and market your brand. You know, Master Herdman, she's awesome at doing that. Jim is great with doing that. And listen, guys, if you want to get into the speaking, I travel the world. Yes, I live a good life, and I'm not, God is good. I coached for Nike, Raytheon, American Express, my first coaching opportunity in the big leagues. I was the guy with the dinner bucket, Scott, going from place to place and hope somebody would do it. But when Duke discovered I had all these books and I was a certified coach, and I demonstrated to them through American Express was my first company, they called me the next day. How would you like to be a corporate educator? I said, okay. They said, do you have a passport? I said, yeah. They said, can you be in Switzerland in 3 days? I'm going, yeah, what was 3 weeks? I said, yeah. So my first big league coaching program was actually in Switzerland, and that was a 5-figure job, flown first class and everything. And from then on, they ship, I do everything in my karate uniform. They ship my sword. I do a sword demonstration cutting, but it all means something else. And they ship it all over the world, and all my material for me to show up, because when I come in as the grandmaster. But I'm also a life coach. I'm also a professional speaker. I bring you value. And that's what we want to teach. And this is what Scott, we're going to be offering a special program coming up shortly. And we're going to let you know. So remember, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, for that. But Jim, I'm going to let you do a wrap up, and we're going to go right back through and wrap up. And we're coming close to our downtime here. You're muted.
So, all right. So we all have that number one thing we all do. We have to unmute, And so, one thing I wanted to tell you on a very fun note here, it's great to be amongst great people like Karen, just with what you do, much heart, much blessings to you, Karen, just for what you've done within the world. And just you, Boom Boom, oh my gosh, as I get to know you a little bit more, I just see where your heart is as well. Scott Schilling, Executive Vice President for Be Connected, but also championsofinspiration.com. You can go ahead and find out a lot of things that he can do to help you in terms of speaking, and you'd be surprised at pretty much anyone that's anybody, the higher caliber people Scott's probably spoken with in the same platform. And then, of course, Jessie Bowen, really having a dream, and just his tenacity, hard work, bringing him to the point where he's really elevating and using his talent to really help other people get their story told. Myself also deal with branding along with Karen and publicity, but I want you to think about your story. Your story is so very important. And I'll tell you, there are certain things you don't forget. I remember, Jessie, this picture I almost didn't take. What happens, my mom and dad were at a friend's party, and what happened, somebody pushed me because we were almost, had to be seated. I just said, I better take this picture. I took it. My mom passed away. And the only reason why I am so filled with joy that I took that opportunity to be able to have that picture to use everywhere. Also, I used it for my dad's, also a celebration of life. Your book is your legacy, how you want to be known, how you want to be seen. I love what Boom Boom said in terms of this whole aspect. So with that, I can tell you, you can choose to do nothing with your book, not have it written, but I'll tell you, the world will be a better place, because the world probably needs to hear your story. Somebody out there, if not many people, need your story to make a difference. And even for you, maybe that's something you didn't know was possible. At Elite Publications, you can definitely get it told, but more importantly, really be able to do some great things, in your martial arts field, if you're a martial artist, in the workplace, as a how-to book. But I just wanted to commend all of you specifically as martial artists for what you do, bring character, integrity, and really showing us what hard work and work ethic really is all about. So give yourselves all a round of applause here, because this is really key, and we are here to serve you, to help you tell your story. So with that, I want to thank you for everything, and we will catch you later in Las Vegas.
Okay, Jim, we're gonna go to Jim. We're gonna take and go back, because I want to let Scott and the rest of the guys have a little wrap up. Okay, so Scott, any wrap up for you?
Well, the reality is your story is absolutely important. And one of the things that the way that I always couch that with people is Mother Teresa said something many years ago, and I share it daily. If you can't feed 100, feed one. Your story is that important. You've got power in what you've accomplished to whatever level you're at. And if it's just the one who becomes that next one, do you understand it was the right one?
Awesome. That is awesome. Okay, Randy, any last words? Give your website and what time is your workout on Saturday?
Yeah, so you can register at randyblakejr.com. Get on there, it's free. That's this Saturday, 11 a.m. That's CST time. If you want a good sweat, we're gonna have fun, listen to some music. I'm gonna literally kick your butt. Come kick it with Boom. Hope to see you guys there.
Well, Randy and I are going to be starting to work out. I got my bag, so I'm going to be teaching him how it's really done. I'm going to be teaching.
He's laughing.
I've been studying his fight stuff. I've already got a few things I'm going to be working with him on. So, hey guys, it's really exciting. I get a chance to be in a partnership with a 5-time world kickboxing champion, and he's going to be my partner. We're going to be training, we're going to be working out, doing some bag stuff. I'm going to have him go, Randy, show me something. He's going to go boom, 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 boom. And then I'm going to go da 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 da, boom. So we're going to be having some fun. I'm starting to, I'm starting to get 10 years back of my life now. So who knows? The Battle of Atlanta may need to watch out. And my co-host and the powerful woman that is a phenomenal martial artist and at the top of that ladder, Master Herdman.
Yes, sir. Well, I would like to remind everybody, we do have a blog. Mine is called The Eden Assignment. It's on Blog Talk Radio through AMAA. And you can actually catch it on social media in more than one way. You can go to my Facebook group page, The Eden Assignment Inspirational Series. This week, I just submitted a blog calling Sisters Don't Forget Who You Really Are. But guys, it's for you too, because we all really do wear a crown and we want to make sure it's on straight and keep it tarnished. And I just do inspirational pieces like that on my blog, and it's become pretty popular. I've got about 4,000 to 5,000 followers just on that one group, not counting on Blog Talk Radio. So I hope you'll tune in. And also thanks for supporting my 4 books and my monthly magazine columns.
Right. And a shout out to Toby Milroy and the World Martial Arts News. Hey, catch us there. Karen has an article in there that she publishes, that's published in there. I have an article all about your mindset. Don't forget, go to our website, elitepublications.org. Check it out. You can email me, info@elitepublications.org. Text me at 919-618-8075. Hey, this is Jessie Bowen saying, hey, be blessed. For God has blessed us, and the 5 of us, we truly believe that there is a spiritual reason why we are here presenting this to you. So remember, if you feel that you're ready, and remember, you don't have to know your story, we can help you bring it out. Hey, be blessed.